Shivoham everyone, Namaste. Um, after the long wait, but quite exciting wait, also a very beaty wait, we are going to start with our next session, the next performance, I would say. So we started our talks yesterday from Leela Bhumi's side, Leela Gurukulam's side. We explored yantras in board games, the significance of why they were in temples. Then we moved to how doing a pujas and how playing a board game, how do they correlate? Why is it such a sacred activity when you look at it from a cultural point of view? We also looked at the significance in prenatal, perinatal stages, till infancy, what role does a board game play, or the concept of krida or leela, how it plays out at that age group. We saw how Panchatantra is connected to board games, stories of that board game, how that is significant. We had a nice quantum science related talk also in the morning. And then we saw a demo of how we at Leela Gurukulam actually use these games for education with the Valamkali game. Finally, we see that be it babies, unborn babies, us, children, parents, everybody plays games. So are the divinities out of it. Even the divine beings play games. One game that they play constantly is called life, which we live. And there are more games that they play. We are going to get a glimpse of this through a dance performance by Deeptima, we call her Deeptima, Deepti Hasabi, and Rishit Manoj, Rishit as we all call him, or Rishit Bhaina as all the children call him. So I would like to invite Deeptima to first give you all an introduction, and then we'll move on to the dance performance. Yeah.
Thank you, Raiva. Shivam, everyone. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. I will start with a small prayer that we pray to Lord Nataraja before any dance performance. Angikam bhuvanam yasya vachikam sarva vangmayam aharyam chandra taradi tvam nama satvikam shivam. A warm welcome on this warm day. As we start this performance, I would like to give you a brief introduction of what we are going to do today and what can you expect? The performance that we are doing is a classical Kathak dance, one of the 8 classical dance forms of our country. The Kathak word itself is derived from Katha. It's a dance form which involves a lot of storytelling. And in olden days, in ancient times, the people who narrated stories using music and dance and various other props were called Kathaks. So these Kathaks went from one place to the other, narrating stories about mythology, about Puranas, about the Devatas, about the kings, about the Rishis. And the first Kathaks that we know of are Lava and Kusha. They are the ones who narrated the Ramayana to the entire country and performed it in front of Lord Sri Rama as well. Taking from that tradition, it has evolved in various forms, various patterns. There is a transformation in the jewelry, in the costumes, and with the Mughals coming in, since they did not understand what really is mythology and Purana, and they did not recognize or they did not connect with our Devatas, it got a very entertaining feel to it. The costumes became a little more elaborate. The jewelry became elaborate. And the technical aspect of Kathak, the talas, the laya, the music evolved a lot during the Mughal era. And after that, the Britishers came in, and then there was another transformation. And then it went on and on and on. Today, it's a very stage-friendly performance. It's a very entertaining performance. It's very graceful, thanks to the Mughals again. And even Bollywood has adopted Kathak in various movies and songs from the beginning. So Kathak is one dance form which talks about the history of the entire country. And today, we are going to depict 2 parts of Kathak. The Nritta aspect, as in it's just body movements, graceful movements, rhythmic movements, without any meaning. However, there also comes in Abhinaya, the aspect where we are communicating something with this dance, with the music, with the rhythm. A combination of these 2 is what we are going to present today. So I welcome all of you. And the space for today, as in I want all of you to imagine that we are at Kailasha, the abode of Lord Shiva and Devi Parvati, and in this story specifically, the abode of Lord Shiva and Devi Sati. As Narada Muni enters Kailasha, this peaceful, silent, cold place, dry place, he sees something. He notices that Lord Shiva and his Devi are playing a game. And Lord Shiva stands for the Tandava. As in, when you see Lord Shiva, it's big, it's wide, it's a lot of movements, heavy movements, courage, big emotions, fear. His dance is the Tandava. And on the other side, when Sati walks in, when Sati comes onto the stage, it's subtle, it's graceful, it's Shringara, it's a lot of love and a lot of smile and a lot of happiness in her movements that you will see. And a combination of Lord Shiva and Sati's dance is what we are going to show today. And through that, there is a story that all of you will see from Narada's point of view. What happens in this story is what the performance is going to be about. By the way, Sati's dance is called Lasya. We have one Lasya here also. But yeah, the female dance form is called Lasya in classical dances. So sit back and watch what happens.
Money
Shivam, everyone. I am Sati, the daughter of Daksha Prajapati and Prasuti, and the wife of Lord Shiva. I am on my way to my father Daksha Prajapati's home. He has organized a grand yajna, and I'm looking forward to it. Narada Muni has sent me because he tells that this is the right time to go there. But before that, I saw Leela Gurukulam, and I was fascinated by all the people here. And I thought, let me narrate my experience also with board games. I also have little experience. So one day in Kailasha, me and Lord Shiva were dancing, having fun, talking to each other. And then Lord Shiva invites me to play this so-called game. And out of curiosity, I go and see what is happening. He is playing a game all by himself. He's throwing the dice, moving the pawns. He declares himself the winner without even giving me a chance, and he wants me to play with him. I told Lord Shiva, this is not the way to play the games. Let me show you. And then, when I rolled the dice and asked him to move the pawn in an order, there's a sequence to it. There is a way in which the pawns have to go, and only then a game is called a game. And looking at this wonderful game that was going on between me and Lord Shiva, Narada Rishi just walked in and he saw us. And he was mesmerized by this wonderful game that was going on. And he looked around and he realized, and then he spoke. You know what he said? He said, look at the game that my Lord Shiva and Devi Sati are playing. It's the game of the universe. The universe is the game that they play. The dice have been fashioned using the ayanas of the sun, Uttarayana and Dakshinayana, when the sun moves towards north side and when the sun moves towards south side. Both the ayanas come together and become the dice using which the game goes on. The pawn is moon himself, the Chandra Deva coming, and the dark side of the moon, as in the waxing cycle of the moon and waning cycle of the moon, Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha, are nothing but the dark and the bright squares on the board. And when moon moves around, the game begins. And he compared, there are 12 houses on the game board, like there are 12 months in a year. And as the game goes on between Lord Shiva and Devi Sati, every time it is Lord Shiva's move, there is dissolution, there's transformation, there's a change that happens. And when it is the Devi's turn, creation occurs. Lord Shiva's move have literally no rules, but when Devi comes in, she brings in the rules, she brings in the structure, and rules of the game apply. And that's when creation happens. This game goes on and on between both of them, never stops. The duration of the game is like the life cycle of the universe. The cosmos runs because of the game that is being played between both of them. And when Lord Shiva and Devi Sati play the game, the cosmos moves accordingly. And whatever happens in the macrocosm happens in the microcosm. What happens in the universe reflects inside us. And that's how we are connected to the cosmos. That was what Narada Muni told. And he told me, this is the right time for me to go to the yajna. I'm just waiting to see who else comes. Oh, it's exciting to watch everybody prepare for the yajna and walk towards the beautiful palace that belonged to my father. Meanwhile, coming back, what interestingly I saw in Leela Gurukulam is how this cosmos is used as a schedule for the children to learn and to create experiences for them. Like, let me give you an example. I think that is very confusing. The sun represents the rhythmic intelligence. And on Sunday, children are encouraged and taught using rhythms. Our dance was an example of that. There are rhythms involved, there's movement involved, there's a cycle that happens. If the children have to learn about the universe, then what better way to dance and learn? The dance of Nataraja is the dance of the universe. If it's a Monday, then it's the day of the moon. The day we connect with our emotions. What does this universe mean to me? How do I connect with it? And when it comes to Tuesday, the day of the Mangala, the day when the kinetic energy is in dominating phase is when the children are learning through movements. How does the earth move around the sun? How are the stars born? How does the moon rotate and revolve at the same time? This is how kinetic intelligence works. Then there is Guru, Brihaspati, the Guru of the Devatas. He represents the spiritual energy, the intelligence that allows us to see the bigger picture, go beyond what our senses can see. So how is the universe related to me? What happens in the universe and how does that affect me is what children learn on Thursdays. And on Friday, the day of the Shukra, the Daitya Guru, the Guru of the Asuras, he represents the scientific intelligence that human beings possess. And on this day, what can children do? They can draw, they can learn how stars are born, they can learn how long does moon take to go around the earth, or they can learn why is earth so many kilometers away from the Surya Deva. And then comes Shani Deva. He ensures that everything is in discipline. Why can't earth move 1,000 kilometers closer or 1,000 kilometers farther? Why does the sun have this kind of a lifetime? Why not less or why not more? And what is the impact of that on us? And Rahu and Ketu, the energies that throb, how I connect with the world and how I connect with myself, interpersonal and intrapersonal skills. And that's the way cosmos comes into being as a part of everyday life of a child in the Leela Gurukulam. Okay, wait. I think they're calling me now. It's time for me to go. But thank you everybody for for being such patient audience and listening to me. I know it's a bright afternoon. It's getting really late. But then, thank you. Thank you so much. Shivoham.
It marks the end of Leela Gurukulam's Leela Bhumi series of talks at Ttox. So we'll be having a panel discussion, Falgun and his team, with board game designers and a bunch of them who will have a panel discussion in some time. I'm not sure when it's going to start. But that's pretty much it for the activities happening on this floor. For children, the games continue over there. You can please go experience board gaming downstairs. Even God's played, we can play it. It's fun. So yeah, just go down, explore something. There are games for everyone. Starting from games for people who are into gaming full-time and are like hardcore gamers, plus for people who are just getting into it. So even if you have not tried anything, go try something down. Games in India, in Bharata, have been always more than entertainment. And people of all age groups, starting from unborn babies to old people, everybody have played it because it's an expression of you, it's an expression of life, and it's a tool to practice wisdom. What better than a game to practice wisdom? So when you go down and play now, just remember, keep in back of your mind, you're going to get completely involved, you'll not remember any of this, but you are practicing wisdom. So let's all go down and practice wisdom, and let's celebrate Ttox with that message. Thank you. Namaste.